Hello, my dear students. Please don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Education was never just a word in the small village of Norabad. It was a distant dream whispered quietly in the hearts of those who dared to hope. The village rested between dusty roads and endless fields, where most children learn the art of survival before they ever learn the alphabet. Among them was a boy named Ayan, whose mornings began not with school bells, but with the sound of roosters and the weight of responsibility. His father worked as a laborer, his hands rough from years of toil, and his mother stitched clothes late into the night to help feed the family. Books were rare, but determination was not. Ayan's first encounter with education happened by accident. One afternoon, while delivering vegetables to the nearby town, he noticed children sitting in neat rows inside a small building, their faces glowing with curiosity. A teacher stood before them, writing words on a blackboard that seemed almost magical. Ayan stood outside the window, watching silently, repeating the letters under his breath. Something awakened inside him that day, an understanding that education was more than reading and writing. It was a doorway to a different life. Convincing his parents was not easy. School meant fewer working hands at home and extra expenses they could barely afford. But when Ayan spoke, his words carried a seriousness beyond his ears. His father looked into his eyes and saw a reflection of his own unfulfilled dreams. With a heavy heart and quiet prayers, they agreed. Ayan walked into school on his first day wearing worn sandals and carrying borrowed books, but his heart felt lighter than ever. The journey was far from smooth. He struggled to keep up, often studying under a flickering streetlight because there was no electricity at home. Some classmates mocked his accent, his clothes, and his background. There were nights when hunger made it difficult to concentrate, and mornings when exhaustion weighed down his steps. Yet every challenge strengthened his resolve. His teacher, Mrs. Rahman, noticed his dedication and often reminded him that education rewards those who refuse to give up. As years passed, education began to shape Ayan's thoughts, confidence, and vision. He learned not only mathematics and science, but also the power of questioning, the importance of empathy, and the courage to dream. He realized that education was not about escaping his village, but about returning with the ability to uplift it. Each lesson became a brick in the foundation of his future. When Ayan reached high school, the pressure increased. Many of his friends dropped out to work, believing education was a luxury they could not afford. Doubt crept into Ayan's mind as well, especially when his father fell ill and money became scarce. One evening, he considered leaving school. That night, his mother placed her rough, tired hands on his shoulders and said softly, "We can survive without many things, but not without hope." That sentence became his strength. Through scholarships, part-time work, and relentless effort, Ayan continued his studies. He topped his exams and earned admission to a university in the city, a place he had only seen in pictures. The city overwhelmed him at first, but education had prepared him to adapt, learn, and persevere. He met people from different backgrounds, shared ideas, and discovered the true purpose of knowledge: to serve humanity. Years later, Ayan returned to Nurabad, not as the barefoot boy who once watched through classroom windows, but as an educated man with a mission. He opened a small school in the village, ensuring that no child would have to stand outside and dream the way he once did. Parents who once doubted education now saw its power reflected in their children's eyes. Education had changed Ayan's life, but more importantly, it had transformed an entire community. It broke the cycle of poverty, replaced fear with confidence, and ignorance with understanding. It proved that education is not about where you start, but about how far you are willing to go. And so, in Nurabad, education was no longer a distant dream. It became a living truth, a reminder that a single educated mind can light the way for generations to come.